Okay, so having seen the design considerations, now let us see how the actual design procedure takes place. So when a specific purpose is given to you, specific task is given to you, how the design procedure starts and ends and the machine gets designed. That is the procedure which we will now see. So design procedure are right here. Design procedure. Now the first thing is the design starts with what? The design starts with the purpose. You are designing a machine means you are designing a machine for achieving certain task. You are not designing a machine just like that. Certain objective is there behind making that machine. Certain need is to be served. Certain purpose is to be served by the machine, by the component. So that activity has got certain end result expected out of it. So the first thing is define why you are making the machine. So I will write here, define a problem. So you have to define a problem means what is the purpose behind the design. So when I say machine means machine or component, whatever thing you are going to design, what is the purpose of that particular machine or the part. Then the next thing, having known the purpose, next thing is you have to explore different possibilities of achieving the purpose. That means you know why the machine is designed for achieving certain task. Then which way, how you will be able to fulfill that particular task or activity. Whatever is the purpose, how are you going to fulfill that purpose? That you have to start thinking. Which way, what should I do? How the machine should be, so that this kind of a function will be carried out or the purpose will be achieved. So you go on thinking in mind to start with about different possibilities of achieving the purpose. Whatever is the purpose, how you can achieve that purpose. So you start thinking. Now while doing this, you are thinking about different mechanisms. Then maybe you can think about shapes, sizes, all these things will come into picture at a time. What mechanism I'll use so that the purpose is served? What could be the size and shape and such things? So all these things together you will start thinking, bringing them into picture in your mind and trying to analyze. Analyze means not technically or the mathematical part of it, but just to visualize what way it can be done to start with as a rough process and a rough beginning process. So that is the next part. So after you think about different possibilities, maybe you have jotted down in the form of sketches that it can be done by this way, it can also be done by this way, it can also be done by this way. So you go on, the design, the rough design starts evolving one after another. So you make something, then while making that particular design or just a layout, simple layout, you might find that there is something say wrong or incorrect in that. Then you will make some changes, improve certain part of the process, so the design changes. Again you think whether this way it can be done or not. If not, again make some changes. So like that you go on thinking, and all this happens in the form of, mainly in the form of sketches. Why sketches? Because sketch activity is such which is a very very fast activity. You just think it can it be done like this? So this sketch becomes very fast. You can prepare the sketch and then you can think, you can imagine whether what you are thinking and how it looks, whether it is okay or not. If not, immediately you can make changes and prepare another sketch and think over. So that activity is always best done by sketches, although there are computers nowadays are available. but computers might start helping you at a later stage. At the initial stage, when the ideas keep on clicking in your mind, different ideas, that time the rough work always is done in the form of sketches while you are hunting for different possibilities. Okay. Now after this is done, after certain time, out of the different possibilities, the final shape or the final layout becomes, say, you can say, confirmed. So after some time you decide that yes, it can be done by this particular way out of the so many different ways which you have thought. Okay. So once you get to know the final shape of your concept, so the finalization of the concept that means your design is finalized in terms of its concept. So now the concept is finalized, that this way it can be done. So you have finalized the concept. Once this is done, out of all those different possibilities, once this particular final thing is fixed, then the next thing is you can start the analysis, technical analysis, that is a force analysis, stress analysis, and all the different things. The technique, you can see, I'll also write as energy consideration, etc. That means now that something is there in front of you, how it is to be done, now you think over what are the, for doing it this way, out of the so many different ways, for doing the job in this way, what are the forces that are involved? What is the force you have to apply? What is the force you have to overcome? Whichever is the requirement. So all these external parameters that are going to act on the device, those things you have to bring them into picture in your work, in your calculations, in your further study. So that is what is called as a force analysis. Energy considerations, how much power will be required, how much speed you want, from where you will get that speed, or what kind of movement you require, how much is the movement you require, what angle movement is required, how are you going to get that particular movement, from where, what is the source of energy which is going to give you that kind of a motion or movement, etc. So those things you slowly bring into picture in your analysis, and you start doing the force analysis. Now while doing this, we also think about the material to be used. Now we have got shape, size, everything, let's say more or less confirmed. Now having done that, a part is to be made of certain shape and size to achieve certain task. Next thing is that will be made of what material? Can I make it by, let's say, steel, or can I make it by aluminium? Can I make it by some other wood or plastic or what? Depending on again the need. So that is to be thought of. So apart from the forces, etc., you have to also give a thought to the type of material which you are going to use for the different parts, or whatever is the specific component you are talking about. Okay, so that is a material is to be decided. Now having done this, probably you will get certain idea of what could be the approximate layout of your, say, machine. Okay, so I'll just write here tentative. It is also called as general arrangement. It is also called as, this is a very common term used, GA drawing. GA drawing means general arrangement drawing. So having done work up to this extent, we get some rough idea of how the whole thing is going to be. And then based on that, we prepare the general arrangement of the whole system or the machine in the form of a simple line diagram. Okay, so this is a diagram. You can say this is coming closer to what you know as an assembly drawing. So you can think of this as a a step which is prior to making assembly drawing. So you have prepared some approximate diagram, general arrangement of your machine, which is involving all the different parts which you have thought about here. So having made the general arrangement, next thing is you prepare assembly drawing. Prepare assembly drawing. Now when you prepare assembly drawing, as such you don't have exact sizes with you at this stage, but then you have got some idea. Now the actual size might come 20 or 25, but then some such size will come. So you draw some figure based on this approximate size and the relative position of the components you have decided. And those, as per that position, you prepare some kind of a rough assembly drawing. So once you do this rough assembly drawing, you will come to know which part is going to fit where with respect to each other, what parts are going to fit at what place. So your machine will have gathered some kind of a shape by now. Earlier it was having a general shape, approximate shape. Now to that shape you have given some finalization and made it more specific and prepared a more meaningful assembly drawing, which is showing you all the different parts that are involved in your machine. So after preparing assembly drawing, now you prepare maybe the detailed drawings. So now you know the individual drawings of individual parts. So when you prepare individual part drawings, that time you have got, let's say, single part. Say I'll just draw one part. So suppose this is one part in your assembly, and you have prepared a detailed drawing, again like approximate drawing. Now what you do the calculations, whatever rough calculations you have done here. Now you finalize those calculations and arrive at the exact dimension. How much, let's say, this is a diameter D1, this is a diameter D2, this length is L1, this length is L2. So all these exact sizes you find out by calculations and finalize the detailed drawing of this part. Okay, like that you go on finalizing the dimensions of all the different parts whose detailed drawings you have prepared. First you have prepared them in rough, and then you have finalized the dimensions and prepared the actual dimensional drawing of all these detailed parts. So once you prepare the detailed drawings of all the parts, now you prepare the assembly drawing again, final. Because now all the dimensions are there. Here also there is assembly drawing, but this is not drawn with actual specific real dimensions. This is drawn just to give you some idea of the relative position of different parts and how the overall machine is going to look like. But now that you have splitted the assembly into details and you have finalized the shape and dimension of each of the detailed drawing, then now you are in a position to prepare the real, actual, dimensional, proportionate, exact assembly drawing. So that you prepare. So now at this stage you have got the part drawings also ready and assembly drawing also ready. So you can think of these two things similar to what you have done during your machine drawing. So during your machine drawing, you have prepared, you have given some detailed drawings. So looking at the detailed drawings, you have thought how those things can be assembled, and then you have drawn the assembly drawing. Or you are given assembly drawings, then those assembly drawings you split it into different parts and you have drawn the individual detailed drawings. That was also, of course, an exercise, as an academic exercise, just to give you some idea, just to make you think how this is done. And in the process you have learned that particular assembly. So that was the objective. Here the objective of course is to design, but in this design you have come across something similar, that in front of you there are a set of detailed drawings, in front of you there is a assembly drawing, which is making use of all the detailed drawings that are here. Okay. So once you have got your assembly drawing ready, you have got your detailed drawing ready, now it is a time to make those parts. Now it is a time to make those parts which are involved in this particular design activity. So now let's say the detailed drawing, let's say there are 50 parts. In this assembly there are 50 different parts, suppose they are there. That means you have to make these 50 parts. Once these 50 parts are in front of you, then you can assemble them as per the assembly drawing, and then your assembly will be ready, your machine will be ready. Now what do you do for making these 50 parts? Are you going to make all the 50 parts? You need them, of course you need them. But then you will find that these 50 parts, they will be of two main types. One is ready-made and the other is to be made, to be manufactured. So you have to manufacture, you have to make some number of parts out of 50, and some parts are standard parts. I'll just write say 10 and 40, just like that. So out of 50 parts, 10 parts are standard parts and 40 parts are, you have to make them. Now what are standard parts? In your machine there are nut bolts, there are bearings, there are oil seals. So such parts which are there, keys, they are the ones which are ready-made available in the market. So you are not, in your workshop you are not going to make each and every bolt. Why? Because bolt is ready-made available. So split your list, bill of material, this is nothing but bill of material. So this bill of material you split into two parts, ready-made parts and to be manufactured parts. The parts which are ready-made, you give it to somebody to buy them, so those parts are available to you ready-made after you purchase them. Now manufacturing. Now these 40 parts which are to be made, here too, again there are two types. The parts to be made, 40 parts are to be made. There are two types. What are the two types here? Out of these 40 parts, few parts you can make yourself in your own workshop with your own facilities. And few parts you are not in a position to make. Those parts maybe you have to give it to somebody else outside, and those people will make those parts and supply it to you. So this is in-house manufacturing, and this is a manufacturing activity which is outsourced, given to somebody else. So in-house and outsource. So this manufacturing you are done by these two ways. So at one particular time all these parts are ready and they are available, and once they are available, what do? You do the assembly. So here you have drawn the detailed drawings, drawn the assembly drawings, then the manufacturing of parts, manufacturing or whatever, buy. So all the different parts you are either manufactured or bought them, and after that you have done the assembly. So once you make the assembly, that means at this stage your machine is ready. As per your design, your machine is ready. Now is it the end of the story? Do you think it is the end of the story? You wanted to design something, and now you have designed something, the entire machine is ready in front of you. Now we feel that the work is over, but then it is not so. Why it is not so? Because you have to test it. Whatever machine is made, whatever component is made, you have to start its function and check whether whatever was your objective, that objective is served by this assembly or not, served by this machine or not. It may happen so that there could be some error, some mistake in your work, something you might not have taken into consideration properly, or maybe during the manufacturing there could be some problems, some defects, some errors for different reasons. So there is something which is there, which is coming in the way of correct working of the assembly. It might happen. So the job is to check or to test. So after your assembly is made, the next thing is, maybe I'll write here, That means now at this stage you are done the testing of whatever is made. And now after you do the testing, what will happen? There are two possibilities. One is that it is successful, 100% successful, first attempt itself, or it is not successful. Now 100% successful is actually a very, very rare thing. Very, very rare thing. So most probably it is not never successful in the first attempt. So there are some problems. So you have to go back, and depending on the at what stage the problem is, so you have to go back to that stage, make the necessary changes, and again come forward and again do this, come to this stage. So repeat everything with a modification and again come to testing. And again check after the modifications are done. If still there are problems, again make the necessary changes and do it again. So this you have to do maybe some number of times, and then at one stage your assembly is working the way it should be. And once that is done, so at this stage your work is now about to be over. So once the assembly is working, testing if it is okay, if testing is okay, that means if it is okay, now your work is over. That means now you have to make the parts or the machines. If there is quantity, you have to make multiple quantities. Now you can start making the number of quantities what you want to make. And at this stage your drawing, everything is final with all the improvement changes. So it is, everything is ready. So now you can finalize all your drawing work. Finalization of drawing means details and assembly both. So both the detailed drawings and assembly drawings, after making multiple types changes and now seeing that everything is successful, now you finalize all your detailed drawings, finalize your assembly drawings. So put all the dimensions, tolerances, numbering, this, that, do everything as per the requirement, because everything is now final. And now your drawing set is also ready, machine is also successfully made, and now you go on multiplying the number of parts or the machines and go on starting the actual manufacturing activity of that particular machine. So you can think of, let's say, this whole thing is example of let us say making a fan. All of you know what is a fan, ceiling fan. So for making a ceiling fan, the